Howdy guys, Adam Bailey here from Bailey Fitness. Just a little video on my 4 top tips for gaining muscle. First of all, what we want to look at, the biggest tip I think I can give you at this stage is if you've been lifting for a while and you haven't sort of seen any massive gains, first thing you want to look at is the volume and what I mean by volume is basically how many sets and reps you're doing per body part per week. So there's this number that comes to mind, the minimum amount of effort you can give to a muscle group. So let's say it's the chest, for example. The minimum amount of sets we should be doing in each week is about 10, and it sort of there was an old methodology that suggested that it maxed out at 20, so the sweet spot was somewhere in between. So if you were working your chest, let's say you hit whether it's you're doing chest as a whole chest day or chest broken up into 2 or 3 workouts during the week, as long as you're training your chest muscles for more than 10 sets, you should see some kind of growth. All right. There was, until very recently, they used to say that as soon as you hit 20 sets in a week, so let's say you just did one monster chest workout, if you did over 20 sets, it was sort of, you didn't see as many gains. So that's sort of been debunked lately. But if you think about it, if you're doing more than 20 sets on your chest, the chances of the injury sort of go through the roof. So if you're doing it once a week, 20 sets in one session, that's fine. But I mean, let's be honest, you shouldn't be doing 20 sets 3 times a week. It's just going to lead to some injuries. So first and foremost, make sure your volume is up. 15 sets a week per muscle group, if you're trying to grow, tends to be like the sweet spot. But obviously that depends person to person, but rough guide. So my second tip for putting on size, so we know first of all we want to make sure our volume is right, but our second one we want to look at is it's something called time under tension. It's a length of time it takes you to complete your set. So we know we should be doing 15 sets a week or thereabouts, so let's say we've got 2 people both doing a bench press next to each other. Same weight on the bar, same height and weight or strength as the 2 guys sitting next to each other. One guy just smashes it out at 15 seconds and racks off the bar and up he goes. The other one takes his time. So we want to look at around, it should take you, I believe, somewhere between 40 and 60 seconds to do all of your reps in one set. So nice and super slow on that lowering phase, that's called the eccentric part of the motion, and with explosivity on the way up. So we're going to go nice and slow on the way down and bang, up as quick as we can. And when we put the muscle under tension for a longer period of time, we're going to stimulate more growth. So my third tip, so we know now we're doing, so let's say for any part of the body, 15 if we're wanting to get a little bit bigger, get them gains, we want to be doing 15 sets. Per week. We're wanting to perform our sets with good time under tension, so nice and controlled for like 40 to 60 seconds. Next, we want to look at our recovery. I mean, we can throw 3 million different exercises at you, but if you're not recovering, we're not going to be in a good place. So your protein intake has to be at the top of mind. So what I mean by this, so protein does a whole lot of stuff, but effectively the amino acids in protein are likely the building blocks or the foundation of muscle growth. So we've got to put in enough protein to get them the muscles growing. So a good rationale to use, if you want to plug it into your calculator, is 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So plain and simple. So if you're 85 kilos, you just rattle that into the calculator times 1.5 grams. That will equal the total amounts of protein that you should be eating to help elicit muscle growth. So we'll put that in a little graphic at the bottom because my timetables aren't that good. But you can track that in apps like MyFitnessPal, and we want to get that through a whole bunch of different sources of food, from your meats to your, even like, if you can't hit your goal, because it's a hell of a lot of chicken, using something like it. This is where your protein supplementation comes into play. So, but if we're hitting the right amount of sets, if we're doing it at the right pace, we should be putting a lot of tax on the muscles. Therefore, we should be putting back in the protein to help restore and recover them to elicit more growth. So fourth, and probably the most important tip I have for you in regards to getting bigger, getting them gains is it's all about the singlet. Stringlets are the order of the day. They just make you look bigger, and look, if your nipples aren't on show at all times during any kind of weightlifting workout, well, it's not really a workout. So there you go, my 4 top tips. Make sure that we're hitting those sets right, make sure we're taking time and we're not just smashing them out, get the protein in. Stringlets and good lighting really help.